What if I told you that you are not in the universe, but that the universe is in you, not as a metaphor, but as a fundamental principle of reality? An ancient idea, whispered in Stoic forums and Neoplatonic schools, has found a strange echo in the most advanced theories of modern physics. The idea that consciousness isn't something the universe has, but something the universe is. We've been taught to see ourselves as lonely specks of awareness, locked inside skulls of bone, peering out at a vast, silent cosmos. But what if that's the greatest illusion ever accepted as fact? What we're about to explore isn't just a forgotten philosophy. It's a blueprint for a participatory reality. A reality where every thought doesn't just describe the universe, it helps to create it. Let's start with a simple question. Where are you? The conventional answer is straightforward. You are a product of your brain, a complex cascade of neural firings that creates a fragile sense of self. In this model, the brain is a generator, and consciousness is the ghost it produces. When the generator stops, the ghost vanishes. This is the official story of modern materialism. But this story has cracks in it. It can't explain why a seemingly random arrangement of matter should suddenly wake up and experience the color red, or the feeling of awe, or the memory of a distant childhood. It's like saying a computer can not only process data, but feel the electricity running through its circuits. So let's consider a radical alternative. What if the brain doesn't create consciousness, but receives it? Imagine your mind isn't a candle flame, flickering alone in the dark, destined to be extinguished. Imagine instead that it is a radio receiver, perfectly tuned to a unique frequency within a vast cosmic broadcast. The radio isn't the source of the music. It's the instrument that makes the music audible, tangible, personal. The broadcast itself is everywhere, always. In this view, the universe is not a collection of dead objects observed by a few living subjects. It is a single immense field of consciousness, and our individual minds are temporary whirlpools within that great flowing river of awareness. We are not separate authors writing our own stories, but rather unique perspectives through which the universe is telling its own story. This simple shift changes everything. It suggests that our reality is not a fixed external thing, but a dynamic transmission. And if that's true, then the most important question isn't what is out there, but what frequency am I tuned into? This may sound like cutting-edge speculation, but what if this isn't a new idea at all? What if the ancients not only knew this, but left us the operating manual? In the 19th century, a thinker named Ralph Waldo Emerson found himself at a crossroads. He was a minister who had lost his faith in the rigid structures of institutional religion, which seemed to place God in a distant heaven, separate from humanity. This profound dissatisfaction launched him on a hunt for a deeper, more immediate truth. And in his search, he stumbled upon a key that unlocked a very old door. He called this key the Oversoul. For Emerson, this wasn't a metaphor, it was the fundamental reality. He described it as a universal mind, a single, indivisible spirit in which every individual soul is a participant. In his words, within man is the soul of the whole. We are not isolated islands of thought. We are inlets connected to one vast, common ocean of being. But Emerson wasn't pulling this idea from thin air. He was rediscovering a thread that weaves through some of history's most profound philosophies. The Stoics in ancient Greece and Rome spoke of the Logos. This wasn't just logic or word. It was a divine, rational principle, an active intelligence that permeates and governs the entire cosmos. For them, a wise person was one who aligned their personal reason with this universal reason, recognizing that the same fire of consciousness that animates them animates the stars. Centuries later, the Neoplatonists, like the philosopher Plotinus, described reality as an emanation from the One, a single, perfect, and transcendent source. From this source, like light radiating from the sun, the universal intellect and then individual souls came into being. The spiritual journey for them was the soul's return journey home, a remembering of its own divine origin in that singular unified source. Emerson, the Stoics, Plotinus. Different times, different languages, but the same radical message echoes through them all. Reality is not a mechanism, but a mind. The universe is not a collection of things, but a flow of consciousness. And we are not strangers in it, but expressions of it. They all saw the same truth, that the self we think we are is just the surface. Beneath it lies a connection to the whole. So if these ancient guides all left us a map to this unified reality, What were their instructions for how to actually read it? Let's dive deeper into this library of ancient thought, because what Emerson uncovered was more than just a philosophical curiosity. It was a functional blueprint of reality, hidden in plain sight. His journey was fueled by the study of texts from the East, particularly the Hindu Vedas, where the equation is stated with breathtaking clarity. Atman, the individual self, is ultimately identical to Brahman, the universal consciousness. The soul is not a part of God. The soul is God experiencing itself from a finite point of view. This wasn't an isolated insight. It was the core of a secret tradition that flows beneath the surface of Western history. Consider the foundational axiom from the Hermetic texts, famously summarized in the Kybalion: the all is mind, the universe is mental. This isn't a suggestion that the universe is like a thought. It is the radical proposition that existence itself takes place within the infinite mind of a universal consciousness, which they called the All. In this framework, we and everything we perceive, stars, planets, each other, are thoughts, dreams, and ideas held within this cosmic intellect. This reframes the Stoic logos not just as a principle of order, but as the very syntax of this universal thought, the divine grammar that ensures the cosmos doesn't collapse into chaos. It enriches the Neoplatonic one by suggesting that its emanations aren't just energy, but layers of consciousness, becoming more dense and seemingly separate as they move further from the source. Like a dream becoming so vivid, it forgets it is a dream. The true power of this ancient consensus is how it shatters the most fundamental duality, the one between creator and creation. If the universe is a mental construct, there is no longer a divine architect separate from the architecture. The mind of the cosmos is not an external observer. It is the very fabric of space, the very flow of time, the very substance of matter. We are not puppets on a stage. We are living ideas, moments of self-awareness within the cosmic dream, and that realization shifts the ground beneath our feet. So if the universe is a single vast mind, and we are active participants within it, how do we use this knowledge? This isn't just an abstract comfort. It is the key to a completely different way of operating. The ancient traditions didn't just describe this reality. They left behind a set of functional principles for navigating it. Let's call them the keys to the participatory universe. The first key is the most fundamental, the law of correspondence. You know the phrase, as within, so without. This principle states that your external reality is not a random, objective place. It is a perfect, holographic mirror of your internal state of consciousness. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. This isn't a mystical belief, it's an observable phenomenon. Think about your own life. When your mind is cluttered with anxiety and chaos, your external world often seems to follow suit. Missed appointments, arguments, unexpected problems. The outer world becomes a stage for the inner drama. Conversely, have you ever had a day where you felt an inner sense of peace and flow? On those days, the world seems to cooperate. Green lights, helpful strangers, sudden solutions. The world hasn't changed. Your inner alignment has, and the mirror reflects it flawlessly. The practice here is not to try and force the reflection in the mirror to change. It's to stop, look at the reflection, and use it as a diagnostic tool. When you face a persistent external challenge, the actionable wisdom is to ask, what belief, what emotion, what inner state is this situation mirroring back to me? The problem outside is simply a signpost pointing to the work that needs to be done inside. Your reality becomes your most honest guide. If these ideas resonate with you, consider subscribing so we can continue this journey together. The second key builds directly on the first. Let's call it the law of resonance. If the universe is a cosmic broadcast and your mind is a receiver, then you can only perceive the frequencies you are tuned to. You cannot experience a reality that you are not a vibrational match for. This explains why two people can experience the exact same event and have completely different realities. One sees a crisis, the other sees an opportunity. They are tuned to different stations. We see this constantly with emotions. Walking into a room full of fearful people makes you feel fear. The frequency is palpable, but a single calm individual can enter that same room and, by holding their own frequency, can literally change the energetic signature of the space. They are not fighting the fear. They are simply broadcasting a stronger, more coherent signal. So the application of this is to become a conscious broadcaster of the reality you wish to inhabit. This is far deeper than just positive thinking. It is the daily practice of deliberately cultivating the feeling of your desired state. Before a difficult conversation, don't just think about it going well. Take 1 minute to close your eyes and genuinely feel the emotions of clarity, compassion, and resolution in your body. You are pre-tuning your receiver to the frequency of the best possible outcome. You are learning to play the instrument of your own consciousness. But if we can learn to read the mirror of our reality and to tune the frequency of our own consciousness, what does that imply about the very nature of time and the self who is doing the tuning? We've been operating under a silent assumption. The assumption that there is a you moving in a straight line from past to future, learning and applying these principles. But what if that's the final layer of the illusion? The traditions that spoke of a universal mind also had a very strange view of time. For them, time wasn't a river flowing in one direction. It was more like an ocean, where every moment, past, present, future, exists simultaneously, all at once. An infinite field of nows. And if that is true, then your consciousness is not a boat sailing on that ocean. It is a lighthouse capable of casting its beam of awareness onto any point in that ocean at any time. This leads to a staggering conclusion. What if all your lives, not just in the sense of reincarnation, but every possible version of you, every path you could have taken, every potential you've ever had, are not lost to the past or waiting in the future? What if they are all happening right now as parallel realities within this vast ocean of the mind? And here is the reviravolta. If the self is not a noun, but a verb, a process of becoming, then who you are now is not the product of a fixed past, but the result of the now that your consciousness is choosing to illuminate. This means the past isn't fixed. When you heal a deep trauma from your childhood, you are not just changing your memory of the past. From this perspective, you are casting a beam of healing light back across the ocean of time, and in a very real sense, you are helping to heal the child you actually were. This transforms you from a passenger in the universe to its co-pilot. You're not just moving through a pre-written story. You are the focal point through which the universal mind is choosing which of its infinite potential stories to experience as real. The question then becomes terrifyingly profound. If every possible reality already exists, what is the responsibility of a being who can choose which one to call into focus? So what now? If time is a field of infinite possibilities, and our consciousness is the lens that brings one of them into sharp experiential focus, then the game of life changes entirely. We are no longer victims of circumstance or prisoners of a predetermined fate. We are creators, standing in the heart of a quantum field of potential. And with that creative power comes a profound and unavoidable ethical responsibility. This is the bridge between metaphysics and morality. If your internal state, your thoughts, beliefs, and dominant emotions, is the tuning fork that resonates with a specific timeline, then every moment becomes a moment of creation. The choice to hold on to anger is not just a personal feeling, it's a vote cast for a reality where conflict and separation are the dominant frequencies. The choice to cultivate compassion, even when it's difficult, is a vote cast for a timeline of connection and understanding. This isn't about blaming ourselves for the hardships we face. It's about recognizing our power to influence the realities we move into next. It shifts the entire focus from reaction to conscious creation. The question is no longer, why is this happening to me? The question becomes, what reality am I choosing to energize with my attention and my feeling state right now? This is the great secret that the Stoics understood when they said we cannot control what happens, but we can control our perception of what happens. They were not talking about mere psychological resilience. They were hinting at a deeper cosmic law. By controlling the inner world of your perception, you are directly influencing the outer world that you will subsequently experience. You are choosing the next frame in the movie of your life. This realization is the true meaning of awakening. It is the end of the blame game. The universe is not doing things to you. It is doing things through you and as you. Every moment is a crossroad. Every choice, every thought, every feeling is an act of world building. So if this entire cosmic play is an exploration of consciousness itself, what is the ultimate purpose of this grand holographic game? In the end, we are left standing before a magnificent and terrifying mirror. The vision of the Oversoul, echoed by Stoic philosophers and modern physicists, is not just a comforting idea of unity, it is a challenge. It suggests that the universe is not a story being told to us, but a story that is telling itself through us. We are the nerve endings of a cosmic mind, the focal points through which the infinite is experiencing the finite. This journey reframes our very existence. We are not separate beings fighting for survival in a dead cosmos. We are the universe's own attempt to know itself, to feel itself, to dream itself into being. Every joy you feel is the universe celebrating. Every moment of heartbreak is the universe learning empathy. Every flash of insight is the universal mind waking up a little more to its own nature. Funny how the oldest advice in the world is to know thyself. It turns out that's still the hardest final boss to beat. So we are left with a cosmic dilemma, a question that sits at the very heart of creation. If the universal mind is truly one, all-powerful and all-knowing, why would it fragment itself into billions of seemingly separate souls? Why would an ocean pretend to be a multitude of individual waves? Perhaps the goal of existence isn't a return to a state of perfect, undifferentiated unity, but something far more subtle. Perhaps it's a divine game of hide-and-seek, where the ultimate consciousness forgets itself in us, for the sheer, breathtaking joy of rediscovering itself over and over again in the grand, holographic theater of reality. Like this journey? Hit subscribe for more mysteries. And that's our hunt for now, a wild mix of documented history and tantalizing what-ifs based on bibliographical sources. What do you think?